United States banned South Africa from next year's G20 summit. But I have to ask, why are you so shocked? When you play with fire long enough, when you throw jabs and insults at global powers, when you align yourself with those who despise your allies, when you call the biggest global superpower a villain of history, why are you surprised when that power says no thanks? This was not fate, it was logic. It was a reaction, a wake-up call. South Africa over the past few years has often acted like the guest at a dinner table, but only instead of bringing food, he threw accusations, threats, and lawsuits. We filed a genocide case against Israel in international court. We aligned ourselves with countries antagonistic to America's interests. We spoke loudly about injustice. We spoke loudly about profiteering, about foreign oppression, all of that. But there is a difference between speaking truth and throwing grenades. You see, when you want regional partners, investors, alliances, especially with global superpowers, and you treat them like enemies in your public rhetoric, you don't get a seat at the table, you get the door. We demanded to host the G20 summit. We dressed the hall, we draped flags, polished speeches, flashed the smiles. We called it a moment of pride. We talked about sovereignty, about global relevance, about South African leadership, but behind the curtains, our house was crumbling. Corruption scandals pile up like uncollected taxes. Crime rates climb while police stations look like abandoned hospitals. Judiciary commissions unraveling secrets that smell like long-time rot. You've got economy that is sluggish, youth that are unemployed, communities that are distrusting the state. We demanded global applause. For what? For a performance the world recognized as an amateur hour? South Africa damaged more than just its image. It damaged its reputation. In geopolitics, reputation is currency, and we spent hours on rhetoric instead of stability. We politicized our pain, and the world refused to sponsor it for once. I mean, there are valid grievances: inequality, the land debate, injustice, racial tension, social inequality, GPV, historical scars that never healed. They are real issues. They all are. But instead of building systematic internal reforms like policies, social justice programs, improving the justice system, economic recovery, we turned pain into politics. We yelled to the world about how much we suffered expecting a foreign bailout. International allies don't sponsor pain. Enough with that. They partner with strength. They invest in growth because also them, they want to make more money. They support accountable governance. Our message became, we are broken, fix us, not we are rebuilding, join us. So this boycott was not an insult, it was self-preservation. The US and other major countries didn't ban us out of malice, they did it out of pragmatism. Leaders must protect their own interests first, by stability, by trade routes, by investments, by alliances. Associating with countries under internal collapse brings risk. Every barrel of oil, every export deal, every single investor, every single handshake, it all depends on confidence. We are losing leverage. Missing next year's G20 isn't just a missed opportunity for global exposure. It's a signal. To investors, it's telling them, hey, this country might fall off the map. Stay away from that country. Pass up. To allies, it's saying your partner isn't reliable. To the youth, it's saying you're growing up in a nation that can't even keep its seat at the table. Internal collapse doesn't get fixed with external attendance. I mean, let's be clear. No global summit ever fixed a broken water system. No international handshake ever fixed an electricity breakdown. No foreign applause ever fixed the femicide rates in this country or fixed corruption or protected our youth. Our problems are domestic. They need domestic solutions. So instead of hosting a summit for show, we need clean water. Instead of lecturing foreign powers, we need actual safe neighborhoods. We need real education, real jobs, real justice. Instead of looking outward, we need to look inward, inside ourselves. South Africa, do you want to be next year's G20? Okay, then stop begging. Fix your governance. Hold corrupt officials accountable before inviting foreign investors. Fix justice. Protect citizens from violence before preaching international law. Create jobs before demanding global bailouts. And only then you walk into a summit room as equals, not as victims, not as beggars, but as partners. Because nations don't earn respect by whining, they earn it by walking the talk. The US ban on South Africa's G20 attendance is not an insult, it is a reflection. A reflection of our failures, a reflection of our choices, a reflection of our misplaced priorities. We can shout it's not fair all we like at the world, but the world isn't what failed us. We failed ourselves. We must rebuild from the ground up. No more speeches, no more protests for foreign votes, no more global posturing, just truth and real action, real reform, real results. Because the world doesn't care about your history, they care about what you build tomorrow. So if we want that tomorrow, we better start today.